one of the things you'll notice about walls which are shaded and overhung by shrubs is that they're covered in a whole range of fairly weedy looking dark green mosses, and these plants can hardly be called the tough guys because they really depend on receiving a lot of water which is dripped on them from the shrubs above. And if we walk along here, we can see that there are a range of different types of moss here, many of which are pleurocarps. They're the trailing mosses, and these are known for not being particularly tough when it comes to their environmental survival. Here's one that's probably Homalothecium sericium, which is one of the really common pleurocarps that are found growing on walls. But if you move away from the shaded areas, you start to find the wall tops are dominated by a totally different kind of moss. And particularly on this wall, we've got this moss growing, which is Schistidium crassipilum, and you can tell it easily by its bright orange or red capsules as they mature, and these capsules will open within a week or two. This plant is incredibly tough. It doesn't need a lot of water raining on it. It loves sunshine, which you'll be receiving here soon. Here's a large patch of Schistidium. You can tell I'm close to a main road, and you can see that quite a few of the spore capsules here have actually opened now, and this plant is covered with them. It produces a tremendous amount of spores, as well as being very tough in its environment. So this is one of the plants that I'm considering as a plant for possible terraforming of Mars, simply because it's so tough. It doesn't require much water to grow, and it does produce plenty of spores, and it can tolerate a lot of desiccation as well. And here's a very large patch of this moss, probably 2.5 3 inches across, and again all the spore capsules have developed here. Many of them are now open. A totally distinctive moss. You couldn't possibly mistake it for anything else. And here's another large patch, probably 2 inches across, growing on the top of the sandstone wall, where it's receiving full sun, and where it's gonna, if it does get damp, it's gonna dry out extremely quickly. And as you can see, virtually all the mosses that are growing on this, and maybe this isn't sandstone, maybe it is, I'm not sure what the stone is here, but all the mosses growing on this wall here are Schistidiums. They're the only plants, the only mosses that can take these environmental conditions. And again, you can tell that they're all Schistidiums from the red spore capsules. Yeah, all the mosses growing on this wall are Schistidium crassipilum, and there are some very large patches of it growing here. And again, you can see these spore capsules either open or close to opening here at the end of March. I've come back to the same area of wall a week later with the specific intention of filming this Schistidium moss with its spore capsules open, and this is the best patch I've found. They've not all fully opened, but you can see the peristome teeth and the red capsules are open, and I'll just take it in a bit for you to see. Struggling a bit with the focus here, so I'll leave it there and I'll photograph it. But this is a moss that I'm considering for using and growing on Mars. Now, Mars has a difficult atmosphere. It's very high in carbon dioxide, lowish in oxygen. It's got a low gravity, low atmospheric pressure, so any moss that you could try cultivating on Mars would have to be really tough. And Schistidium is my moss number 4 for cultivating on Mars. As you can see, the shoots are extremely blackish in colour. It's growing on rock. These plants only grow on rock. So what you're looking for is a plant that grows in the conditions that are present on Mars, and the Martian surface is in fact pretty rocky. So this is one moss I might think could grow there. Anyway, I'll put some further details of why this moss would be effective in the description, and hopefully you'll be able to read a bit there. So please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching Schistidium, another possible moss for Mars.